The man had clearly been sober for many years, yet under the coaxing of three friends, he took a sip of extremely strong vodka. In an instant, the entire world seemed to fall silent. A subtle smile appeared on Martin's face. He downed the entire glass of liquor, yet tears uncontrollably rolled down his cheeks. It was years of suppressed loneliness and exhaustion. As if he had found a brief escape in that moment, Martin, over 40, had long lost the vigor of youth. He was constantly entangled in dull work and endless meetings. His wife worked night shifts every night, and even at home there was little communication. Even his favorite history classes had few attentive listeners due to his dry lectures. His friends, hearing him talk about these trivial daily routines, suggested he might try drinking again. Even half-jokingly mentioned a Norwegian expert's theory that the human bloodstream naturally lacks 0.05% alcohol, and if maintained precisely at this level, one could feel more relaxed and confident. After hearing this, Martin felt both curious and anxious, yet he couldn't resist the lure of alcohol. Alcohol brought them together, and in their revelry they seemed to regain a long-lost youthful energy. The next morning, sober, Martin couldn't stop thinking about how he felt the night before. He hid in the school restroom, secretly taking a few sips of vodka, as if only under the influence of alcohol could he muster the courage to face life. When Martin confessed this unusual behavior to his friends, he expected to be scolded, but to his surprise, everyone expressed understanding, even empathy. So the four middle-aged teachers decided to personally test the Norwegian expert's theory, while writing a psychology paper, turning their playful experiment into a rigorous scientific investigation. The next day, slightly tipsy, Martin walked into the classroom, completely changing his usual teaching style. The students were inspired by his enthusiasm and energy, and couldn't help applauding him. After work, he poured himself a glass of red wine. His wife noticed the change. A hint of worry flashed in her eyes. During dinner, Martin became more talkative, even planning to take the family boating during vacation. Those long unrealized ideas seemed to surface only under the influence of alcohol. However, the joy was always fleeting. The red wine soon tasted as bland as water, and Martin felt an inexplicable sense of loss. Being slightly tipsy no longer brought him pleasure. He began craving stronger stimulation. To chase this feeling, he started increasing the alcohol concentration. By the time he arrived at school, his steps were light and careless, but the students' cheers in class made him feel that his actions were justified. The four decided to push the dosage to its peak. Martin worried that his family life would be affected, and considered leaving the spree on his own. But seeing his friends guzzling drinks, he couldn't resist and lifted his glass. Amidst intense music, they drank glass after glass, with the alcohol concentration reaching 1.8%. They then went to the supermarket, only to find they couldn't buy fresh cod, even causing chaos in the store. They went to a bar and drank the entire day, not leaving until midnight, staggering as they departed. Martin slept directly on the street. Fortunately, a neighbor discovered him in time. He slept for a whole day, only waking up in time for dinner. His wife sent the child away, preparing to have a serious talk about Martin's drinking problem. The two had a huge argument over it, and the wife took the child back to her parents' home, and their drinking antics were discovered by the school administration. The extreme revelry brought extreme lows. Under social pressure, the four had to quietly end the experiment. For a moment, they couldn't even tell whether it was alcohol that ruined their lives, or life itself that forced them to depend on alcohol.